This is Raptor News. I put out a video yesterday about the persecution of black people by the hands of law enforcement, false law enforcement, the police, the cops, the pigs, whatever you want to call them. And what you are learning here in America is the same thing Adam and Eve, Job, and all the rest of the prophets had to learn. That the word of God is true, so relax. You're learning here in America and the European nations and the islands and all over the world that the word of God is true. And so they're learning. Where are they at? They in the valley of Jehoshaphat over there. Syria is what they calling it, right? The valley of Jehoshaphat. They are into the Mediterranean Sea. Where is that at? The sea where they all gonna get destroyed at. All of the military. God is going to cause them to smash into each other and things like that out there. The waves is gonna get rough. Let's just say that. And everybody is in position for a total knockout. We are going to go into darkness. That is getting ready to happen. And who cares if these people are racist and they hate you? Wasn't you already told that? So we got Genesis 15:13. And God said to Abraham, know of a surety that your seed shall be strangers in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years. There is no synagogue of Satan, false Jew, that have been afflicted for 400 years. The people who's fitting that end time description right now is us, and they know it's us. And so basically, God already said, for 400 years you will be afflicted in a nation that is not yours, whether you're in the Caribbeans, whether you're in Brazil, whether you're in the Americas, no matter if you're in Britain, all over the world where you were scattered. Another prophecy to say who we are. You're going to get tortured by these people, right? Deuteronomy 28:68. It cannot be helped. It is just the truth. There shall you be sold unto your enemies. We wasn't friends. Who said we was friends? For bondsmen and bondswomen, as slaves, captives. So here we are in 2019. Pharaoh won't let us go back home. Our land in Talarad is being sieged by the Synagogue of Satan, who have posted signs recently saying that they will kick us off the land if we go back there by any means necessary. And they are well within their rights to say that. I said that in another video. Why? Because God allowed them to have 42 months to subdue that land. They ain't about to let you go over there and squat in that damn land, even if it's your own land given to you by God. God's decrees must come to pass. He ain't going to pussyfoot, and he ain't going to go back on his word. So the Gentiles need to understand that God didn't go back on his word with us. 2,000, 3,000 years ago, he wrote in the Torah that we were going into captivity. Well, we in captivity, we will be sold to our enemies. Well, we sold to our enemies. We have been over here in affliction for 400 years. Well, the 400 years is up. Time that God come back and deliver his people right now, huh? That's where we at. So, everything have came to pass for us. But what he said about you, we're going to find out. And so they said, we will fall by the edge of the sword, which would mean we're going to get murdered by them. Men, woman, child, baby. We all going to get murdered by them. Why should we worry? God already told us we were going to be afflicted and we're going to be sold to enemies. What do you think enemies do to you? They murder you, they jail you, they oppress you, they hate you. Right? Is that not what we experience in the nations? You shall be led away captive into all the nations. Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. So we're going to be ran down by them. We ain't going to ever be able to lift our heads up with them. And I say it again. Jerusalem shall be trodden down by the Gentiles. That is an order from God. Why? Because he gave the Gentiles and Satan 40 and 2 months to do whatever the fuck he wanted to do to us. And then we're going to get into the stipulations of that. Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And so we know that time is the day of the Lord, the day that the dead arise out of the ground. And so these Gentiles have that amount of time along with Satan. At the end of that, they go to hell. And that's why it says, who have warned you of the doom to come? Because they were already doomed to hell. But God says in Obadiah 1:15, for the day of the Lord is near for all the Gentiles. That's the time appointed. And as you have done, Gentiles, it shall be done to you. So you can spit in the black man's face, you're going to get spit on. You can oppress black people and children, you're going to get oppressed. You can enslave us, incarcerate us. The judge, look at the judges. Look what they're going to give. Everybody you gave 100 years, 1,000 years, life, guess what they're going to get? Life. You know? And so they have a recompense. It ain't that they just going to do this shit. They're going to be in control for the rest of eternity. And we ain't going to never be able to get together. We can't come together because Gentiles come in all different colors now. Black, white, yellow, green, and brown, like I keep saying. You know, and I learned that the hard way. Just like I said, I started an African site when I believe we were Africans a long time ago. I was trying to get that put into a corporation where Africans just do business with Africans worldwide, you know, and we keep the money to ourselves. We buy our own and make our own weaves, our own nails, our own music. Everything we do are between ourselves, and we don't include them, you know. And then watch this. Is that fair or that's unfair that we do business with each other? Because they are monopolizing what Raptor News wasn't understanding is God said no. He said every damn dime and everything that you do, the Gentiles is going to benefit off of that shit. So you put a weave in your hair, the Gentiles is benefit. You put fingernails on the Gentiles is benefit. You go to the store, the Gentiles is benefit. You die, the Gentiles is benefiting. Right? They benefit off of everything that you do. So one day, all this shit is going to be returned back on their head. So we know it is the day of the Lord. And what did God say to them? Because this shit going to come to pass as well. It's on the way. The Gentile destroyer is here. Ezekiel 35:4. I will turn your cities into ruins, and you will become a desolation. Come out from among her, people. That's what God warned you already. Why are you still there? We know the winter time is coming, and pray that your flight be not in the winter or on the Sabbath. Then you will know that I am the Lord, because you harbored ancient hatred and delivered the Israelites over to the sword in the time of their disaster and at the final stage of their punishment. Therefore, as surely as I live, declares the Lord God. So God is saying what? As sure as I live, I will give you over to bloodshed, and it will pursue you. Since you did not hate bloodshed, it will pursue you. Ezekiel 38:22. For all of the police, for the FBI, for the CIA, for the Klans, for the Nazis, for the Tea Party, for the militia, for all the 800 and some hate groups, worldwide known hate groups, God says, I'm going to execute judgment on you. Ezekiel 38:22. So they're going to get it. And bloodshed. Since you did not hate bloodshed, it will pursue you. So I'm going to execute judgment, plagues, and bloodshed. I will pour down torrents of rain, hailstones, and burning sulfur. I'm going to pour that down on you, Gentiles. I'm going to burn y'all. Why are we worried about their police then? I'm going to burn you and your troops and on the many people and nations that are with you. Every nation and every people that support you, they're going to get burned. Y'all going to get burned. So they can brutalize us all damn day long. Is it not written that we is going to fall by the edge of the sword? Was it not written that we was going to be trodden down, kept down, oppressed by them? Was it not written that we will be sold to our enemies? You know, but it was also written that God was going to turn our captivity and then explode on their wicked asses for the shit. And then you take that up with God if you don't like the way God do things. But God knew all this was going to happen because he is God. And so we got Raptor News being attacked. I'm Israel. Of course I'm going to get attacked by the Gentiles. They can't stand my ass. And so Raptor News becomes then an exception. Why am I an exception? Because I know the rules. And then I can try to teach people the rules, but they don't want to listen to the rules because they think it's a way around God. Whether you be Jew or Gentile, dog or cat, mouse and fucking rat, there is no way around God. Your content will be removed due to the violation of our community guidelines, not God's, ours. We're your masters. We're in control of you. We can do and take as we want to. And then the only thing they can do is annoy me with this trifling bullshit. And so, am I annoyed with them? Yeah, I'm annoyed with them. Your video, you are being detained and you are not free to leave. You know what? It was removed. You know why I put that video on there? Because that's how we live in these European nations. We are detained in these European nations and we are not free to leave. Because why can't we go home? Every black person who in the know now wants to leave this motherfucker. Black people have moved to Canada. Black people have moved to Mexico, Russia, and all over the place trying to escape the America. Well, let me say it like that. I'm trying to escape America in those cases. Some of them moved to Dubai, trying to get away from the European nations. Right? If I was going to do anything, I would probably move to Dubai if I wanted to get out of the European nations. Ghana, if I was trying to move out of the European nations. But, you know, I still am going to Ghana, because I thought about that. I'm still under Gentile rule. Ghana is fake as fuck. It's just as fake as America. Ghana saw money and potential in the future. Ghana, being smart, set up something where Ghana people learn how to speak English because they knew you was coming. They knew you was coming. And they don't give a fuck about us in Ghana. None of them fucking Gentiles give a fuck about us, even if they black. You know, Ghana is for Ghana. You know, and people need to understand that. You're going to be trotted down in Ghana. All the people over there lying their ass off saying that they kicking it in Ghana. If you kicking it in Ghana and you having a good time, you one of them. You just a Gentile just like them. So now I ain't able to post a video for a week. We're going to get you, Raptor News. We're going to stop your shit. You cannot put out information we don't like. We are your teachers. We control you. Okay. Sure you do. And so here's the information. So I'm putting out this right now. You can't stop me. There are rules to this game, man. And the rules is this. This is what God said. You can only fuck with the people who got the mark in their head, in their hand. You can't fuck with the people who didn't take the mark of your societies, your social system. That's why I don't have no bank account. People ain't understanding why I ain't got no bank account. They think I'm just being a dumbass nigga. No, if I was trying to live in this system, I would start some kind of sole proprietor, some S corp or some C corporation. Have done it. You know, I would start out with an online business. I would build up my business credit, I would register with Duns and Bradstreet. I know the whole fucking game. You know, I would build my business credit through different corporations and stuff like that. I would build up millions of dollars worth of business credit. If I had bad personal credit, I would take my business credit and pay off my personal credit. Then I would take my personal credit and put it in my business name. So I will make my business my name. So you wouldn't be able to tell my name from the business. You know, and then I would hide my business. I know how to hide my business, you know. And I'm gonna say something. And people start, since we reading, you know, the Torah and the scriptures, you can understand what I'm saying now. Every time I started a business, God tore it down. He allowed the Gentiles to come in and take all my money out of the bank, shut down my import and export. I had import and export. I had my shit seized in fucking New York. It came all the way out here, you know, from China. They stopped shipment on me. They confiscated all of my electronics. That's what I was selling. Electronics. I was selling clothes, shoes, anything that the people, whatever was hot at that time, I was selling it. Me and I got my children involved. Also got involved. See, watch. It ain't because you stupid. I got involved in selling green energy. And how do you get involved in that? Well, we were trying to outdo the electric companies by selling green energy and then having people sign over to us, and then they go under green energy and they pay us monthly, right? And the company, the corporation running that company, they make a large percentage, and I make a percentage every time you use your electricity, and then every time you use your phone, every time you use anything of any product that we sold, I make a percentage off of it, and I did not own the company. I just resell their shit, you know, and God stopped that. I went into, I'm going to do tax liens. See, you just some dumbass making fucking videos. No, I'm not. I'm going to do tax liens. I'm going to buy and sell and flip property. I got my real estate license and everything else. I was going to become a broker in the whole 9 yards. God stopped that. To the point, just like I said before, that I was on my hands and knees saying, God, what are you doing? Well, son, read the scriptures and you'll find out what I'm doing. So I read the scriptures every day now. I know exactly what God is doing. You will be trodden down by the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles. Period, point blank, the end. I had $7K in the bank. The Gentiles took that. I swear to God. They took every last cent. They called me up and said they shutting down my shit. They taking my merchant's account down. I'm no longer, they're going to report me. You lucky we don't take your black ass to jail. They told me, how in the hell did you learn how to do all this shit? Because I'm not a dumb motherfucker like you. That's how, bitch. I ain't going to sit in no bank every day and night and rot motherfucker like you. You know, I know not to get under no fucking building. Because you're going to rot opening up a store or something. If I open up a chain of stores, somebody else is going to do the work. I ain't doing it. You know, anyway. These cops are sociopaths. Most Gentiles are psycho and sociopaths, meaning they don't feel guilt, remorse, or having harmed or mistreated black people. They say other people, black people. But the jinn will attack the jinn, so it is other people as well. And they disregard or violate the rights of others. We have no rights in Gentileville, you know, and we just don't. And so, a black man eating a sandwich, he got arrested. A black man babysitting two white kids, he got pulled over and harassed by the police. A black man gardening, he got detained and harassed by the police and 3 white women. Some black doctor She got humiliated when they was asking, telling her, is her credentials real? Trying to assist the passenger. Same thing happened to another black doctor. You're not really a doctor, you're black. Even a patient, he got double pneumonia. They arrested him. He still hooked up to an IV bag. All he was doing was going out to the hospital to take a walk to get some fresh air and exercise, and they accused him of stealing the IV bag. Tried it down by the Gentiles. This is all of it. A black man cleaning up his yard. The police came and drew down weapons on him. You know, a black man cleaning up other people's yard, drew down weapons on him, handcuffs, everything else. They're gonna arrest him for mowing, jaywalking, walking across the street. He just got snatched and slammed on the glass so damn hard that he broke the glass with his forehead or his face. A black woman. She went to a party. She had some drinks. Somebody spiked her drink. She ended up in a motel. That's what she woke up at. She probably got raped and everything else. So she got drugged. She got raped, and then the police was called. She's so damn messed up out of her mind. She can't even walk. She's stumbling. She got her equilibrium and everything else is off. And they take her down to the police department and cut all her hair off, where her hair don't even grow back because they cut it down to the roots. A black man had to pee on the plane. They pulled the whole plane out of the air and over to drop this man off. You don't break Gentiles' rules. You know, you got drugs in the car. They arrested this man on weapons and drug charges. He didn't even do shit, you know. And then, of course, if you're black, you resist an arrest. That's their favorite saying. You fit the description and you resist an arrest. This black man gets suffocated to death by mall cops. Mall cops. They look at them. They're trying to pretend like they're actually really cops. They ain't nothing but fucking security guards with flashlights. Rented cops. Here this black man, he pretty much get arrested 4 times a week going to his job. They just impede him going to his job. Here go a black man that was going to a restaurant. The white woman didn't like the way he looked at her. He made her feel uncomfortable, and so basically she called the cops on him. You know, and here go a black man who is a cop. Why'd you join that shit? And they shot his black ass. They shot a black police chief. I think he was a chief. He was a sergeant or a chief. And basically, they had set up some little raid. He busted open the door and they blasted his ass away. He was the only one that got shot. You know what I mean? Here go a black man who had a medical issue, went down under the wheel, drove to the other side because he was out of it, incoherent, crashed into another car head on, and sped out and then crashed into a medium on the side. Look at his face is shiny from all the pepper spray that they was spraying on him. Here, you incoherent and out of it. They knew he just got into a crash, but they gonna pepper spray him and they tased him while he under full fucking duress. You know, because God already said he delivering you to your enemies. How should enemies treat you? You know, you joined the law enforcement. You went to college. You bought a house. They still treating you like shit. You got to understand God's word is true. He said they was going to treat you like shit. He said they was your enemies. What do y'all expect the enemies to do? He said they got till the day of the Lord. Don't expect shit to them. You know, a woman and her children, it was called as a gang activity. You walking with your children, y'all a gang, a false report. Black man rented a damn hotel. They kicked him out and said he was doing something, laundering, squatting or something, I don't know. Called the police on you for barbecuing. Called the police on your baby girl for selling water. You know, called the police on Bob Marley, dog. It don't matter if you famous or not. Arrested you at school. 6 cops beat your ass at school. 10 years old, they put a bag over your head and treated you like a wild damn animal. Threw you in the car and slammed the damn door on your ass, took you down. 11 years old, cops drawing down on you, treating you like straight up criminals. You will be trotted down. You will be killed by your enemies. You will be made few in numbers. You know, what are you expecting? You know, 6th grader, girl, beat up by a damn white cop talking about stop resisting to a sixth grader. You know, a 12-year-old girl beat up by 2 or 3 officers. You know, and then here we have a 15-year-old boy on a fucking ATV, and they tasered him while he was driving and murdered him. He died, crashed and died. Here you at high school, some cop come in and choke your ass out. And then they've been choking out black people and doing black people wrong at the school. And the same school, the cop came in and busted this dude's gum and teeth backwards. High school. And here you, 11 years old, you got your first paperboy job, and some bitch called the damn police on you, and the cops is harassing you. You know, you got to be stopped and frisked, which is Donald Trump's policy. Stop and frisk everybody that's black. And this is why, there's nothing wrong with you, Raptor News. Then why in the hell do your content keep getting flagged? Because I'm a true Hebrew Israelite, that's why. And we are supposed to be what? Trodden down by the Gentiles. Now, I'm going to say something about the reason why black people get got so much. Because you sinners, that's why. If you could stop sinning, God will protect you. If you keep sinning, God going to throw you into the hands of the enemy, and they going to have their way with you. That's just how it goes. That's how he teaching you your moral lessons. This is Raptor News.